Welcome back, everybody. This is Tassie with Tassie Eats, and happy holidays and Merry Christmas. So I had a request to do steak, and I was thinking about it during the holidays for Christmas. My absolute favorite, it is the standing prime rib roast. And in the description, I'm going to include a link on how I actually make my roast so you guys know how I do my prime rib. But for today, I ended up doing my favorite steak. And so instead of doing the prime rib roast, this is pre-recorded, you guys. This is actually the Friday before Christmas. So this is my favorite steak. The label said it was a porterhouse steak, but it looked kind of small, so I think it's a T-bone steak. But anyways, it is my absolute favorite, the porterhouse or the T-bone steak. And so I wanted to do that, and since I can't do the prime rib, which is my favorite though, and because I'm Asian, I got me some rice. And I actually dip it in some Thai pepper here. There is a recipe for this as well. I'll include below, you guys. All right, no mashed potatoes for this girl. My boyfriend, though, he's not Asian. So he asks us for mashed potatoes all the time. Like, I have become a pro at making mashed potatoes. All right, so for today's episode, I really wanted to do something a little different for everybody. I've been getting a lot of requests about a Q&A about myself because some reason everybody wants to know things about me. That's so good. Oh, and I have some pop here, you guys. And I wanted to do the Coke. Because Coca-Cola always reminds me of Christmas. And I think it's because when I was a child, you know, like on TV, they always play the Coca-Cola commercials with like, you got like the train coming through the North Pole and you got the polar bears. It's gonna hurt drinking this because dark pop always hurts my throat. Alright, so I want to do a Q&A as I'm eating my steak for you guys. And really, these are just things that I thought about that I think you guys might be interested in knowing about me. And of course, if you guys think of anything else you want to ask me, just feel free to ask, you know. And then like when I have time, I try to go through my comments for everybody just so I can respond to you all. And, okay. So the first question, Tassie is my real name. And my dad named me, for some reason, he named me Tassie. And Tassie, if you guys think about it, it's actually, the name Tassie, it's actually Australian. And it's what Australians call their country Tasmania. So it's slang for Tasmania. And my boyfriend, he's always like, oh yeah, you know, you kind of are crazy like the Tasmanian devil, like when you're hungry and you're tired. He'll be like, your hair is not brushed, you're hardly wearing clothes, you're going crazy. Mm-hmm. And this steak here, I actually just did it on my cast iron grill. And I put a bit of steak seasoning on here, the McCormick steak seasoning, and I put some bulbs of garlic on top, and then after I seared it, I just basted it with butter and I tossed it into the oven and finish it off. Now, the million-dollar question that everybody always asks me, they always want to know, what is your ethnicity? Other Asians ask me that too. I mean, like, I have gotten really, really weird ways of people asking me. And I've gotten just really weird responses to when I told them, you know, like, what I am. It's kind of like they didn't believe me. And I'm like, I'm not making this up, you guys. Because people will be like, oh, you gotta be Korean. You gotta be Korean. And then all of a sudden they'll be like, oh, no, you're adopted. You have to be adopted. Like, are you adopted? So, and when they find out my last name being Yang, they're like, so is that your maiden name? And I'm like, oh my God, you guys. Especially like when people hear me over the phone, they don't believe I'm Asian. So if I give them like for business purposes, you know, I have like my email. They don't believe that Yang is like my last name. But the answer to the $1 million question, you guys, and some of you I've been responding and I've told you guys through the comments, I am Hmong. And if you don't know what Hmong is, Google it. I remember just this past spring, I was at like this bar where a lot of Asian people sometimes go to do pre-drinking and everything like that here in Uptown. And for anybody who's in the Minnesota area, you're right, it's Sushi Tango. So I was at Sushi Tango. I met up with my girlfriends there, and one of my girlfriends, she is Korean. And we were like talking, hanging out at the bar, and these two guys, they come up to me, who immediately I could tell they were Korean. And then they're like super friendly, they're talking to me, you know, like we're having a good time, getting to know each other or whatever, just as friends, of course. All of a sudden, they were like, are you Korean? And then I told them, no, I'm not Korean. And then they asked me like, what are you then? And I told them I'm Hmong. They gave me this look like I was freaking crazy. They were like looking at me, and then they kind of looked at each other, and then they were like, no, you're not Hmong. And I'm like, oh my God, like, did you really just say that to me? And they're like, you're not Hmong, you're Korean. And then I was like, you can ask my girlfriend, she is Korean, and she's right here. And they were like, and then like they kind of got like upset that I wasn't Korean and that we were talking this whole time, and they like just like walked away like I had insulted them because I was like, I'm not Korean. It was really, really weird. That's probably the weirdest. No, that's not the weirdest. That is not the weirdest. You would think that was the weirdest. It's not. The weirdest about my ethnicity, when I went camping up north, we were at a bar, and this guy's talking to me, and midway through our conversation, and my girlfriend, who was not Asian, she's white, she was sitting next to me. You know, we're at an all-white bar up north in Minnesota camping, or we're at her parents' cabin, and we went to the bar for a drink. And this guy, halfway through our conversation, he looks at me. He's like squinting his eyes, and then all of a sudden he's like, are you Asian? I mean, me and my girlfriend, we were like, what the? What? And he was like, because you kind of look Asian. Like, I don't mean to offend you, but you kind of look Asian. Oh my God. We were like, okay, how much has this guy been drinking? That is the weirdest. When a guy asked me if I was Asian, and not to be offended, because I kind of look Asian. So I am 31 years old. I am a September baby. And I was born and raised in La Crosse, Wisconsin. And my family moved to the Twin Cities in the late 90s. We moved to a suburb of the Twin Cities. And honestly, I didn't have a lot of Asian friends until we moved to the Twin Cities and I started to go to high school. That's when I started to have more Asian friends, just because I was always predominantly in an all-white surrounding. Like, we always lived in the suburbs, or we always lived on the side of town where there was no Asians or any other type of different races. So most of my friends growing up, they were always white. So I can't tell you guys where I actually work, but I do work for a very large company. And I've been there for this next month, it will be 13 years. So I've been with the same company for 13 years. I had just turned 18 when they hired me. And right now though, I am what you would call a technical trainer. And I have a background in instructional design. So it's basically just, you know, we apply adult learning concepts. Okay, let me just start over. Basically, we train adults how to use programs and software and systems. Breaking it down. And I actually come from a very large family. I have a total of 16 siblings, and I am the 5th oldest, and I have 13 nieces and nephews. In my family, I have Hmong, of course, and then we also have Mexicans, and we also have Korean in my family. I'm totally gonna gnaw on this bone, okay, guys? I love eating T-bone steaks because my boyfriend doesn't gnaw on bones. So I always get 2 bones tonight. I'm so excited. I'll give him like half of my steak because I'm gonna get his bone, and I like love it. He'll just sit there and watch me eat it. I'm just like, ah, ah, ah. You'll see. I don't have any kids. I've never been pregnant. For pets right now, I don't have any pets. I almost bought a cat when I moved into my apartment here, and then I found out they don't allow me to have pets. But a long time ago, well, not long time ago, probably about 5, 6 years ago. Man, maybe it has been a while. But I used to have a German Shepherd. He passed away when he was 3 years old. His name was Grizzly. And he was a German Shepherd mixed with a Chow Chow because he had the Chow Chow tongue and the tail, the amazing tail. All right. So fun facts about Tassie. I hate cooking. I absolutely hate cooking, you guys. Boy, Tassie, that's not going to work out that well for you considering you have your YouTube channel on food and recipes and everything. I actually hate to cook. But it's really funny because I somehow am just really naturally good at cooking, but I hate cooking. And the reason why I hate to cook is because, you know, like people, they talk about cooking, how it's so relaxing. Okay, it's not for me, no. Cooking is extremely messy, and I cannot stand being around messy environments. It drives me really, really crazy. And like my brother, he's like the opposite of me. He loves to cook, and he's good at cooking too. But then like, he hates the cleaning part, and it drives me crazy. Like, I clean as I cook because I can't stand it. And the reason why do I cook then if I hate it so much? It's because if a restaurant can't make it the way I like, I have no choice but to cook it. Because my need to eat it is stronger than my hate of cooking. Okay, if that makes sense, you guys. Alright, there's that bone here, gotta be careful. And this steak ended up becoming a lot more cooked than I had intended because it had sat there for too long. I tend to eat my steaks at medium or medium, closer to medium well, but not as well as what it came out to be. It still tastes really good though. So, I used to have a motorcycle permit. I was in the scooter phase, you guys. That ran out real quick, but I got my motorcycle permit. I had a Yamaha Vino 125cc. It was back in 2008. But yeah, I used to have a motorcycle permit. I hate riding motorcycles. Does that make sense, Tassie? No, not really. But when I started dating, a lot of guys in Minnesota have motorcycles. I hate it. I hated it. I would like date a guy and, you know, like, I think they think that that's like a selling point to them. Because they would always tell me like, oh yeah, I have a motorcycle, blah, blah, it's a Harley, blah, blah. I do not like guys who have motorcycles. Because they make you ride it, okay? Like, I don't. And something you guys might not know about me, those who are pretty close to me are my friends. They know this about me because I'm pretty vocal about it. But I do not like wearing pants. Yep. It's out there now in the world. I don't like to wear pants. So you guys probably already know this, but I have an OCD. I don't like being dirty. I don't like things on my skin, like lotion and stuff. So my hands are always really dry. Right now, it might be hard to tell on the camera, but my hands are really, really ashy and dry, you guys. Anyways, so I also don't like things that cover my legs. So whenever guys are riding motorcycles, you have to wear jeans. I remember the last guy I dated who had a freaking motorcycle. He like begged me to go on a motorcycle ride and I come out in jeans. And we both kind of look at each other and I think he realized in that moment I looked really weird because he's not used to seeing me in jeans. And like, my favorite pair of jeans is from American Eagle. But I look weird with it. And I wear booty shorts. I'm wearing them right now. I don't like to wear clothes. That's normal. Speaking of which, this hideous sweater I'm wearing, this is my ugly sweater for Christmas, you guys. So, my boyfriend and I, we didn't actually get around to making our ugly sweaters. We bought sweaters, and we were supposed to decorate it ourselves. We never actually got around to it. Now it's Christmas, so I was like, well, I'm just going to wear this. It's kind of hideous on the top already, so I was like, it's okay. But anyways, yeah, so I don't like to wear clothes, and my shorts, they're all really, really short. They're really short shorts. You know, like, girl, boy shorts? It's basically underwear, you guys. But we call them boy shorts. And that's like the length of my shorts. I just don't like things covering my legs. Oh, and then like one time I wore like normal length shorts, you guys. They were like normal length. And my boyfriend, now, he was like looking at me and I'm looking at him. And I was like, I know. I look weird, don't I? And he was like, you kind of do. And it's just because I'm not used to wearing it. Like whenever I go out, I wear like what people would consider short dresses. But it's because I don't like things covering my legs. I will always be in a dress, in shorts. And if I have no choice, I'll wear leggings. No choice. This is how far I go, you guys, to not wear pants. Whenever I have to go somewhere because my boyfriend's forcing me to go with him, like I have thigh-high boots. I will wear shorts underneath my booty shorts, and then I'll wear thigh-high boots, and I'll have my winter coat on. So you can't tell I'm not wearing pants. I'll always be wearing some kind of boot. And my jacket, it goes like, it's like the longer ones, it goes like about an inch above my knee. So it looks like I have pants on. I don't know why. I just don't like wearing pants. So if you think I'm trying to be fancy wearing a dress, that's not it. The craziest thing I've done, I think it might be more of what's also happened to me. I've had a lot of crazy stuff happen to me. But I would probably say the craziest would be when my taxi driver, I was intoxicated and I had taken a cab home after a really bad first date. And my taxi cab driver, he tried to kidnap me. And I think that kind of like, it was kind of weird because so like on your cell phones, on iPhones back then, or was it the Android? I can't remember. But anyways, I had a phone where if you pressed it a certain time, like 3 times in a row really fast, it sends out an SOS to people who you listed as an SOS. It drops like your location. It takes a photo immediately, whatever's on your phone, like around your phone, it takes a photo. And it sends out a massive text that, you know, like, I need help, blah, blah. So before the date started, I accidentally pressed it. And I remember everybody was like trying to reach me because they all got it. And I was like, oh my God. So it was kind of like it was a sign when it happened. Because then afterwards, I got into the taxi cab and yeah. We're not going to talk about that. And then I ended up being safe though. I got home eventually. I'm okay. Clearly. Anyways, so that would probably be like the craziest thing that's happened to me. The craziest thing I volunteered for, I would say. I have been ghost hunting before. And we have like a paranormal group here in Minnesota. It's like I went with like the biggest paranormal group we have here. And we investigated like elementary school. I was so mad at my friends. I was mad at them because nobody wanted to go. Everybody thought it was the scariest thing in the world. Nobody would go. And then later on, afterwards, they were all like, oh, I would have gone with... I'm like... I'm like, no, you wouldn't have because I asked you right before the class and you were like, no, I don't want to go. And everybody thought I was crazy. I am kind of crazy. But it was... But it was one of those things, like, I'm the kind of person who I like to always challenge myself and try new things out of my comfort zone. And that was something that really, really scared me, but I, like, wanted to do it because it's something I've never done before, and I'm really outgoing like that. And so even if people don't go with me, I'm actually used to doing a lot of things on my own. Yeah, I don't know. I've always done a lot of things by myself. Even though I have a lot of friends. The number one thing I don't like doing is waiting on people. I'm actually a really impatient person. Demanding. I have really, really high standards, but all of those things, I put it worse on myself. Like, I'm really very, very hard on myself because I always need to know that I'm moving and that I'm not standing still, if that makes sense. Like, I always set goals for myself in my life, you know, and I always work really, really hard to achieve it because it's like an accomplishment for yourself, you know, like, it's like going to the gym. The accomplishment is that you went and you did something for yourself that nobody else could do for you. You know, so it's like those kind of things really motivate me. And so it's like I do a lot of things alone because I'm not afraid to do it alone. And that's also one of the reasons why I did YouTube. Because, you know, like, as I'm older now and I'm kind of out of my partying phase with my friends all the time, it's just, you know, like, they're all, like, settled. They all have kids from, even if they're not married, they all have kids from previous relationships, and they have to take care of them. And I don't have any kids because I never wanted any. I never wanted kids, and so it's like, I can't have an animal. I wanted an animal, somebody to take care of here, but it's like, I can't even do that. And I actually eat out alone a lot. So even if I'm dating somebody, I always have like, you know, like when I like to be alone, I kind of go and do my own thing too. Because I honestly believe a relationship should not make you. A relationship should just complement your life. Because I already have everything I need on my own. Like my boyfriend, he had to bring something to me that I didn't already have, you know. And then I met my boyfriend. My God. So, my boyfriend and I, we are almost exactly alike. I think he's crazier than I am. Like, I can get pretty crazy. I've thrown a cooler with frozen fish in it at him once. And it was like really early in the morning. I was cranky. I'm not a morning person. I get cranky easily. And he was trying to get me to bring a cooler of fish home to work because afterwards I was going home to my brother at the time I lived with him, and the fish was for my brother. I got mad because I'm like, you expect me to carry a cooler of frozen fish to work? I was like irritated because I had to wake up early for work. I took the cooler and I threw it. I just snapped. And he literally stood there and just like stared like, did this crazy lady just throw a cooler of frozen fish at me? I did. I would definitely say one of the best perks about living alone is that you get all the ice cream to yourself and you can use it as your bowl. You don't need to make another dish. Now, this is going to sound kind of weird, but I'm really, really, really bad at small talk. First off, I hate small talk, you guys. I am a really straightforward person. So small talk is really wasteful of energy for me, so I don't like it. People, though, love to do small talk. Because if I don't have anything to say, I don't say it. But just because I'm that way doesn't mean everybody's that way. So I try to accommodate. The problem with that is that I end up becoming really, really bad at small talk. This is how bad I am at it, you guys. And I think the problem is because I know it's going to happen, so I'm dreading it. So I purposely don't listen. And so my responses are always really weird. Like literally, I was at work this one day and one of our big bosses, you know, like we end up being in the same room. We'd run into each other in the same room. And, you know, it's the usual, how are you doing? Hi. And, you know, like my response is always, oh yeah, I'm good. Yeah, that's the normal response you expect, right? And then she actually said, oh, I'm having a really, really bad day. And the normal thing to do would have been to ask her, is there anything I can help you with? How, like, what do you mean? Do you need to talk about it? No, I literally was like, yeah, the weather's really bad. It's messing up traffic. I'll see you later. I like walk out of the room. And it's not until like I literally get back to my desk and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, Tassie, what were you thinking? Like it was like, it had nothing to do with it. But it's because like my mind goes into that cloudy moment because I don't want to deal with this small talk. So it's like I'm not even prepared for like a real conversation. Oh my God. Yeah, it's like having a normal conversation, I'm totally fine with, especially like if I know the person and everything. But when it comes to small talk, I'm just really like really bad at it and I don't know why. And I think I make people feel awkward so they don't say anything. Oh my God. So this is another really weird thing about me. Like even though I'm really outgoing, I have tons of friends, I blah, 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 right? I do not like to look people in the eye. So this actually developed through the years. So I was never like that before. So long story short, I used to be with somebody for 14 years. We were together. And finally, after 14 years, you know, we ended up going our separate ways. And I'm literally 27 years old. I'm like, how do people date these days? And, you know, like, and then what happened was I was going out to the bars. I was meeting new people. And these weirdos were staring at you. Like, just eyeballing you. They don't say anything. They're not doing anything. They don't even come up to you. They just stare at you. And I'm like, there's something on me? Like, am I wearing something crazy? Like, my makeup out of the place? Like, what the heck's going on? And it wasn't until I realized later on that men and women of this day and age, they show you they're interested in you by staring at you. What the? Who does that? Okay, like, I think because I'm such a talkative, out there kind of person, that's really weird to me. It's creepy. Cut it out. Don't do it anymore. If you like somebody, you go up to them. You talk to them like a normal human being. You don't stand there like a creeper staring someone down. Like, it is the creepiest. And I always feel like they are a predator and I'm like a prey. And I'm like, I can't look at them. I can't look at them. Like, I'm trying not to look at them. It's really creepy. Cut it out if you are a starer. No one likes it. Oh my god. But okay, men and women do it. You know, like, I get hit on a lot by women. But basically, they just keep staring at you. And it's really, really creepy. And to finish off everything about Tassie, I own my own shotgun. And I'm always packing mace. Happy holidays, everybody.